Hey, what's up, guys? I'm here with Mir, and we're going to discuss some Blanka. Is he a good character or not? He's been released only for a week now, but I don't know. I've been playing him like non-stop, so I feel like it's a good time to talk about him.
Yeah, and it seems like a topic that caused quite a bit of controversy, I guess.
Yeah, because a lot of players think that he's weak, so it's perfect timing, actually. So, before we discuss like Blanka himself, I think it's worth noting, in case you guys don't know, that Blanka was actually nerfed before he was released, and after like all that WSO footage and stuff. So after like Capcom was breaking him down and showing us his movesets, they did nerf some things. And one of them was his electricity on block. So before, it used to be +3 on block, now it's only +2. Doesn't make too crazy of a difference, but it definitely is a nerf. I mean, with +3, Blanka would be able to, it'd be have an easier time frame trapping you after walking up and throwing you after electricity. Considering that if you use a medium button to electricity, you're really close to the opponent. And it also allows you some different frame traps as well. Because when you do it on a block, since you're +2, Blanka doesn't have like a 3-framer, right? And his crouching medium kick starts up in 6 frames, which means that if he was +3, you'd be able to like do a frame trap with a crouching medium kick on the entire cast. It's just a little bit stronger
on 3 framers
strings.
as well.
Was that Mir?
Oh, on 3 framers as well, yes.
Yeah. So it's like, even though like I test this on 4 framers, like characters like Guile or something, doing crouching medium kick counter hit, you still don't get too much off of it. Like I can go into like a standing medium punch with a V trigger, something like that. So it's a nerf, but it's not too crazy because I already think that being +2 is already good as well in general. And then the other nerf was his ground shave roll, his old super that he gets in V trigger 1, where you hold down hard punch and hard kick at the same time, and you rolls around the ground like Sonic. Now when you fully charge it, it doesn't guard break anymore. If you guys remember from our breakdowns before, even in the introduction video for Blanka, they showed it off, and now it no longer guard breaks. So they nerfed that too.
Yeah, luckily enough, you recover still plus on block and really close to them. So
it's like +3, right? Yeah.
Yes, you still have the opportunity for like a mix-up then, but of course you lose on guaranteed damage. The guard break could, guarantee.
That's true. I still like being +3 though. It's really good. Because once again,
I still like killing my opponents.
Well, it doesn't do that. Like, it can scale damage, right? So I mean, it's not too crazy.
Well, you could do super and all.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so I thought you guys should know. All right, let's talk about Blanka now as a character. Before we discuss like the strengths and weaknesses, let's just discuss like Blanka as the design from like I guess specifically for Street Fighter 4. Let's talk about the Blanka balls in general, right? So a lot of people feel like the Blanka balls are not strong. Because the light version, even though it lands really far, people are discovering ways to punish it. But, I mean, I don't think Blanka needs to just spam Blanka balls. We're just talking about the horizontal one, Mir. But there are some characters that can't punish it at all, right? Weren't you testing around with that?
Yeah, and it's not super easy even for the characters that have punishes, because you have to be sure that Blanka's bouncing off the right distance from you, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes like a well-spaced Blanka ball can be extremely hard to punish, and in the heat of battle, maybe you're not ready to dash after the heat of leg. Yeah,
heat of leg.
You're not ready to dash after him.
To
punish him, which is something that a lot of characters have to do. So
some characters need a charge. Some characters need meter.
Yeah. So it's not as dramatic as a lot of people make it out to be.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still punishable, and there are situations where that's a really bad thing.
Yeah.
But then again, the whole thing about Blanka is trying to be unpredictable. So
exactly.
And of course, spacing your balls comes out really strange. But spacing your Blanka balls, you have to, you have to do that too.
And then the rainbow ball. Really strange arcs in this game. You can still control it to EX, but a lot of people are bummed out, actually. We'll talk about more of this in the weakness part, but a lot of people are bummed out you can't cross up with it, right? And we have seen some footage recently where people are using the Blanka ball, the light kick version, the rainbow, sorry, to go over projectiles, to just slightly advance forward and such,
Yeah, to navigate.
And it's a great pressure option.
Yeah.
And
it also catches people that maybe might try to dash forward. I've seen Blanka players mix it up with the medium one, which goes a little bit farther. So if they're expecting that you're doing a light one to go over a fireball, maybe they get hit by the medium one.
Yeah.
So yeah, there are definitely options, and being +1 block and especially +1 hit, the fact that you can combo after.
Yeah.
It's a valuable tool for sure if you're not too predictable with it.
I catch people in the air with it sometimes too. You get a EX juggle from that as well.
Yes.
Can you juggle with anything besides meter? Do you know?
No, I'm pretty sure that's maybe the Amazon River run done for a heavy punch because it has pretty good juggle punch, but I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure.
Yeah. And then the up version of the ball now, the vertical one, it was really weird when they made the hard kick version go straight up. I checked the hitboxes on it, and it's not a real anti-air. It can be used as anti-air, but it's not real though.
Probably to be, predictable cross-ups, maybe even wake up, right? Because
yeah, it's a little odd this time around for sure. But the EX version is so good,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, being completely invincible. I mean, man, it's so nice because having an invincible move that's a down charge is great because it doesn't matter what side they're on, and it's fast. It's fast too. It's like that flash kick. So, but if people try to cross me up in the corner, if I use it, I'll get baited out though because it doesn't like autocorrect that well. But it's still another great tool that Blanka has for sure.
Yeah, an invincible reversal is always nice to have.
Yeah. Okay, let's bounce to his strengths and weaknesses. Let's start with his strengths though, for sure. So one of the strengths I think about Blanka definitely is his pressure. I think his pressure is really, really good. I mean, he has so many options. I mean, a lot of characters need like frame traps, right? But with Blanka, the way he works is that he likes to use electricity on block, right? And get in that +2 zone. And then there's a lot of things you can go from there. A lot of layers if the opponent is mashing, right? Or just staying blocked and you can go right into it again. And it's very similar to like Street Fighter 4 in that sense. You can't dash forward into it anymore, into electricity, right? Or jungle hop electricity. Like, that's a lot slower. But his pressure in general is really strong because if you mix in, the Blanka ball and the rainbow ball, right? If you mix in all of his tools together, overall, Blanka usually finds a way to get in, right? And then you got to slide on top of that.
It's a character where it's not very. I guess I can say it's kind of scary to hold forward and march against Blanka because you can get hit by a Blanka ball or you can get a slide to catch your toes from the other side of the screen. Yeah. There's always the risk of rainbow balls like you mentioned, and when he's close, the electricity being +1 block allows him to condition you into not pressing buttons, and then you can continue the offense. So definitely has really good pressure.
Yeah, and his jump arc's really annoying. It's just like
very short.
Yeah, and then his damage and the stun seem pretty high, and his V triggers.
Well, I guess it's more like his damage and stun are very high for Blanka, how it used to be.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
In general, his damage is on the it's average, I guess I could say. Compared to most of the cast, it doesn't have really really high damage, but he has the opportunity to spend meter to extend combos, right? Yeah. And he can spend 1, he can spend 2, so that's good to have.
Yeah.
If you really want to squeeze that extra damage in for a kill, for example.
It's easy for him to combo the super, and he's got great Oki on almost any type of Blanka ball, and especially since they all knock the opponent down, right?
Yeah, I feel like that's a big plus.
Yeah, and I feel like if I mix up the opponent at least once, I swear they just get stunned. It's just, it really builds up really fast. Yeah, and like you said, you have so many options to use 1, 2, 3 meters, right? And then his V triggers, I feel, are very strong, and that's something that a lot of pro players now are basing tier lists off, mostly on characters' V triggers, their comeback factor and stuff. And I feel like both of Blanka's V triggers are actually really good. V trigger 2, everyone at the start thought V trigger 1 is just the best V trigger. It's the most solid one. I still think it's really the most solid one for sure. But the amount of mix-ups they're finding with V trigger 2 is really great. There's a lot of stupid cross-ups that people are finding with this V trigger, so I think that one is still growing. And his V trigger 1 is really solid, especially against zoners, where it gives his Blanka ball the option to go through projectiles,
Yeah, it's great for adding burst damage too, because basically all of your Blanka balls, all of your specials really turn into EX versions of themselves.
Yeah.
Actually, more powerful EX versions.
Yeah.
And even though they drain like a third of your V gauge for each use. The fact that you also get access to ground shape rolling, it just enables you to chain those specials together to get some really big, like chunky combos, and at the same time you still preserve your meter, right? Because you're not actually spending EX meter on that, so you can then it really mounts up for a comeback potential. So I think it's a pretty strong V trigger for sure.
Both V triggers have strong mix-ups, man. Both V triggers have strong mix-ups. So.
It's important to note that they're both 3-bar V triggers. So I guess that's like if you want to spend one of your V gauge stocks, I guess, on V reversal, you have to be prepared to have your V trigger very late.
Yeah, that's true too. That's true. But at least Blanka's got 1,000 health. I mean, could be worse. Yeah. All right, let's move on to weaknesses now, Amir. So these are the common things that I hear. Okay, so when I say, most players are saying that he's a weak character, I'm just talking about, the echo chamber from Twitter and such, right? No names specifically, but I just hearing most people consider Blanka a weak character right now. Even some pro players have mentioned it too. So one of the common things I hear is that he's slow. He's a slow character. So I mean, a lot of people are expecting him to be like Street Fighter 4 Blanka, right? Where he's just like super nimble. But Blanka, his mobility is actually quite high. He's got a lot of ways to get in, whether using the light Blanka ball, the rainbow ball, the jungle hop, the dash, and all that stuff, right? But they're all easy to punish if you know they're coming, obviously. Everything Blanka has some kind of weight to him. That Street Fighter 5 weight, I'll call it, right? And it's important with Blanka that you have to stay unpredictable at all times. That's how when I play Blanka, I'm super aggressive, but I'm always trying to change up how I'm getting in, kind of thing. And I feel like you can't just sit with Blanka and just play neutral because you're gonna get destroyed, right? You have to get in and start that pressure.
Yeah, I think they wanted to shift Blanka's playstyle a little bit more on actually getting in and getting the combos.
Yeah.
For damage and knockdowns, instead of playing more like Street Fighter 4 where you're trying to kind of like harass your opponent from afar and being tricky with the Blanka balls, right? Especially now that the Blanka balls knock down, which is
it's really strong.
Quite a very it's very useful to keep the pressure on when with Oki and all that, and the jungle hop. Even though a lot of people are saying it's kind of slow and not the best because if it crosses you up, you're at out of throw range.
Yeah.
So it has weaknesses for sure, but it's still it's one of the tools that you need to use to stay unpredictable, like you mentioned, and that's I guess in Street Fighter 5 they're still powerful tools. I mean, they just basically translated them to this game in a way that was a little bit more balanced.
Yeah, and his V skill is great for getting into his V skill jump as well too. You can't just use one tool always. And, we didn't even mention his command grab. That's just yet another tool the opponent has to worry about and blocking in general. His command grab is actually quite good. But we're talking about weaknesses. So the weakness definitely of Blanka being slow. Like I said, he definitely has risks to all of his attacks, for sure. No doubt that is a weakness. And yeah, so we're just talking about the Blanka hop, so I'll mention that too. People are complaining about the Blanka hop as well. So the Blanka hop, I mean, in terms of canceling your strings into a Blanka hop, into the jungle hop, sorry, I get jabbed out every time online. Every single time. It is way too slow if you use it that way, right? But I think the jungle hop has other uses as well, such as the back jungle hop is really good, because I can always space myself how I need to be spaced, whether I want to space myself for the light Blanka ball, right, or the anti-air or whatever, right? And it's like you said, it's just another tool that you have to use. And the jungle hop also allows Blanka some extra Oki setups, where he knocks the opponent too far and you can jungle hop to get right next to the opponent. Another example would be like if you knock down Dalsum and he happens to do a wake up back teleport. I can use my forward jungle hop to be right beside Dalsum after he gets up, or after he teleports. So it's just like another tool, and you can't just think of it as a pressure tool, because a lot of that is gone now in Street Fighter 5. Whether Zeku run cancels like Guy or whatever, right? Ken, Ibuki, all these things are different in Street Fighter 5, so you can't look at it the same way.
Yeah, like I mentioned, another thing that's definitely different is the fact that if you use the jungle hop to cross up the opponent, I mean, it's nice and all against charge characters, but you're still out of throw range. So that's definitely different from Street Fighter 4. So you have to apply a different kind of pressure, I guess, when you're on the other side.
Yeah.
Because you're not as close.
Yeah.
So there's drawbacks to trying to apply those kind of mix-ups. I guess they try to, like, they changed it that way to make it so it's not as crazy, especially in a game where Street Fighter 5 where, hits hurt more, I guess, especially with, his newfound combo potential. Yeah, he's not as reliant on this left-right mix-ups with the jungle hop anymore, and you still have to take into consideration that you can cancel your coward crouch, your V skill with jungle hop. So that's another mobility option that he has. It's more like an alternate way of moving around, like you mentioned. You use the backwards jungle hop instead of a backdash to space yourself, or you have access to your V skill kick, which is a jump with a different arc. I mean, maybe taking them, if you take them in a vacuum, like if you look at them in a vacuum, they might seem a little bit weak, but if you look at the overall kit of the character, I think they fit in kind of nicely.
And then now for the Blanka balls, we already talked about this before, but mostly all the Blanka balls being punishable, and then the rainbow balls as well are easy to anti-air. It's just another thing where, once again, in the heat of lag, I mean, you can't punish it every single time. It's like when people complain about Ken's run being so telegraphed and so easily punishable, but everyone's human, right? And Momochi was talking about this before, but you can't stop it every time. And if you mix in the rainbow ball, I mean, Blanka just has to get you to block it, and you're in trouble.
Yeah,
you're already in trouble at that point. You have to stop it before it gets to you. And same with the the Blanka ball, right? If it hits you, it knocks you down. It just has to knock you down, and then you're already in trouble. Right?
Yeah.
So,
and like you said, it's not just the heat of lag, because, for example, if you look at something like Ken's run, even in tournaments, like it does work as long as you're unpredictable with it.
Yeah.
Which is like you can catch anyone off guard. So
it's true.
That's definitely what they designed the moves to be.
Yeah. Exactly. There's just more risk to it, right? There's definitely more risk to it. So, yeah. And then the last thing people are complaining about is that Blanka actually has troubles against zoners. I find this a little odd. Like, they're saying that basically Blanka's slide has too much startup, so you do have to kind of predict them. But I feel like as long as you space yourself correctly, if you're not too close to the opponent, you have more than enough time to actually react to the fireballs and not have to worry about the startup. And then, as we said before, a lot of Blanka players now are using the light rainbow ball to get closer. And then V-Trigger 1, I don't feel like Blanka has that much problems against zoners as you think. I don't think he's as insane anti-zoner as I thought he would be. But I don't think it's that bad as people make it out to be. But yeah. Anything you want to comment about the zoning mirror, or is that too weird for you?
No, like in general.
It's just, did you roll your eyes or something? Or?
No. I guess it's just that, I mean, Blanka's, like you mentioned, as a character design, he's got tools to get past the zoning.
Yeah.
They might not be the strongest, but because he has so many different ones, right? It's another way you can be unpredictable.
Right.
Because, say, if you're a gal and you throw a Sonic Boom, right? You have to expect the slide, you have to expect, Rainbow Ball, you can, Blanka can just sit there and block and jump, neutral jump forward. Like, there's many options, right? And,
yeah.
I mean, although I guess Gal can kind of flash kick them all,
it's
still a thing that you have to, take care of. So yeah, ways around zoning are always good, because it makes them, stay on their on the tip, like walk around on the tip of their toes, because everything has a you're gonna have a response to that, like slide or whatever.
Because they're bad matchups for some characters, and at least Blanka has those tools. So let's talk about overall now. So overall, I think Blanka is a strong character. I think it's way too crazy early to say if he's top tier. I definitely don't think he's weak at all. I just think he's a strong character, and I think people are going to find out more things of this character, and he's going to become stronger over time. I think Capcom did a good job designing him actually Street Fighter V wise, and for all the criticisms against this character, saying he's got too many weaknesses, he's too slow, I strongly feel that like the way Blanka should be played is that all of his every single tool has some type of weakness to it, but at least they have their viable uses as well. Unlike a character like Sakura, where her view skill is like next to useless, right? I feel like at least with Blanka, everything has its time where it's being used for something, right? And that's what helps make a character much stronger. I don't think Blanka has anything insanely abusable. His pressure is really strong, but he does have the tools for most matchups, I feel. So yeah, I'd say he's strong. What about you, Mir?
Yeah, I definitely think he's a powerful character. Maybe he's not, you know, in the higher echelons, but at the same time, like you said, he has the tools to deal with a wide variety of matchups. He's got the pressure, he's got anti-zoning capabilities. I mean, he's got average health and stun, that's always good. 2 V-triggers that do kind of different things. I mean, I guess they do help you open up the opponent, but in different ways, right?
And comeback, that's what you need. It's comeback factor.
Yeah, and comeback potential. You have you have a pretty decent kit, and you can use it for a variety of situations. So it definitely isn't. I don't think he is a character with a lot of flaws. Actually, quite the opposite. I think he's a pretty versatile character. So yeah, I think he can deal with the best, honestly.
Hopefully he wins evil.
Hopefully he wins evil, yeah.
Yeah, hopefully he wins evil, yeah. Alright guys, well, let me wrap up this video now. Guys, let me know in the comments below what you guys think of Blanka so far. Is he still a weak character, or you guys think he has potential to be strong in the future? And hopefully some pro player will pick him up and represent him in the tournament. So I've seen some cool replays already. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel, guys, and be sure to like the video. It really helps out. And we'll see you guys next time. Take care.